Yeah, so good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining the webinar, which was supposed to happen in Blossim, but last but not least, I'm sure that we will have a chance to organize it in December if the situation will allow us. But just to make sure we are still in the flow of the project, we had the idea to come together online and share our expertise and the good practices which will be selected for the seminar in Blossim in December. And I would like to give the floor to Laszlo, and he will introduce you the program, and I wish us a fruitful meeting.
Thank you very much, Lila. Just to remind you the program before we do a round of introduction. So after a short introduction to the participants, I would like to have just a few words about discussing what is education for, by, and through sport, based on the foundations of the project that we are implementing now, named Sport.Youth.Inclusion. Then we will listen to 3 presentations, one from each country, one from Germany, one from Italy, and one from Hungary. As far as I know, we have no presentations at the moment from Bulgaria, but it doesn't mean that the Bulgarian practitioners will not be present.
We have presentation.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that this changed as well. I'm very happy to hear. So we will have 4 presentations then, one from each country. And then we would have a little bit of a discussion about the project itself, what is expected from the participants and what you can expect from the project. And also we would like to introduce briefly the program of the International Toolfair in Berlin, in Blossim, hoping that we can implement it in December or somehow in January, or we really don't know how we are able to cope with this context and also making both ends meet regarding the project. So this is the program of today. We planned it for maximum 90 minutes. So the latest we will close the webinar at 6 o'clock. I will facilitate it and make sure that the time is respected and everybody can respect the time. About myself, my name is Laszlo Földi. I am a freelance trainer and consultant in the field of human rights, education, and democracy. I also work a lot in the context of sport and using sport as a tool for education and democratic development. I have some publications as well in this field, and I'm very happy to be the consultant for this project. With Lila and with some other people, we designed this project together, and we hope that there will be also follow-up activities of this project. I live in Budapest. I'm a Hungarian citizen, and then recently I am more European than Hungarian, if you understand what I mean. Szabolcs, can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Szabolcs Holosi. I work mainly as a trainer. I work also in the corporate and the sports world. I am managing programs for leaders development, coach development, and team building. And I am the owner of a specific program which is built on disc behavior model. This is a very old model for development, self-knowledge, and communication. And I will show you the sports application of this model, because I am one of the practitioners who were selected for this project, and thank you for this.
Thank you, Szabolcs. Joanna and Co.
Should I start or should I? No, you. Okay. I'm Joanna, representing Bulgarian Sports Development Association that is partner in this project. We are very active in youth and sport fields, and together with this, we are very active also in the education through sport methodology, using the methods for several years, and also using different kinds of methods, mainly with persons with disabilities, youngsters with deviant behavior, and different target groups that need a bit of push-up to go back in the society. And through sport, this is really easy. With me is Sunny Suleiman, that he will present himself.
Hello, I'm Suleiman. I'm trainer of kids with disabilities. I'm teacher at school, one school, and I'm student at National Sports Academy.
We'll present a practice from the team that Suleiman is supporting as coach. The team is composed from persons with intellectual disability. Ciao, Marti Dutre. But you will see a bit more in the presentation.
Blagodaria, Harald.
Yes, hello. I'm Harold from Germany, and I'm working for the Federal Center for Health Education. I started this campaign, which I want to present today in a very short time, maybe more than 25 years ago. And I'm working today as a coach and trainer. And I was in earlier times, when I was younger, a runner. I was running on 400-meter hurdles. And so I used this, my sports career, I used this to start up this campaign together with the government of Germany. Yeah, and I will explain a little bit more about this campaign today.
Dankeschön, Harald. Andra.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Andra, manager for international cooperation by the Sport.Youth Brandenburg, and sports is the main methodology which we are using in the youth field. And today I also brought with me Anila. Anila is our European volunteer and is working together with Evelina, who is also a participant. And yeah, Anila will also say some words about herself and how she is integrated in sports field and kindergarten. So this link, this combination.
Dankeschön, Anila.
Hello, everyone. I am Anila. I am from Albania, and I'm doing now an European voluntary service in a kindergarten. And like Andra also said, it's a sport kindergarten. It's in Falkensee. And there, it's this concept that the kids learn through movement, through sport. And I also work with 2 preschool groups. And it's really interesting. And with this age, you can do a lot with the children. And yeah. That's all.
Dankeschön, Peter.
No?
Peter, do you want to do a short introduction?
Sorry, rám gondoltam? Bocs, itt közben eltűnt a képernyő, és nem
I can translate for you if you want.
Oké,
tudod neked fordítani is, ha szeretnéd.
Oké, jó, aztán egyszerűbb lesz, mert nem találom, amit akartam. Akkor csak annyit mondjál, köszönöm szépen. Jakab Péter vagyok, testnevelő tanár, és egy különleges programmal vettem részt ebben a programban, a bizonyos éjszakai pingpong.
My name is Peter Jakab, and I am also a practitioner in the Hungarian team, and I take part in this project with a practice called night table tennis.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Andrea. Can you unmute your microphone? Andrea, can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't. Sound comes and goes. I'm sorry. It's yeah. Hello, I'm Andrea Giuliano from Italy. I'm a project assistant for Italy. We're working together with Rosario Coco for ICE. I'm a human rights activist and a translator and collaborator in cultural programs. And yeah, I will also speak on behalf of Mavi, Maria Vittoria Rambaldi, who's not here today because she couldn't make it due to personal problems. If needed, I will introduce her briefly later. Excuse me, this is a very strange day for me, and I've had a pretty bad day at the doctor's. So sorry for being a couple minutes late, and also sorry if I'm a little bit dizzy due to medications.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Rosario.
Thank you, Lassi. Thank you, everyone. And nice to see you, even if through the web. I'm Rosario Cocco. I coordinate this project on behalf of EICS, Italian Association for Sport and Culture, who is partner of this project. Me and my colleague Andrea are working in this project following the outcomes of the Outsport project, where we developed several tools in the field of education through sport, especially in the area of LGBTI rights. And for us, the participation in this project means to extend our competencies in the field of education through sport on more than one topics, and means, of course, to gather more and more practices to share experience in order to widespread to the awareness of this methodology in Italy, which is not so well known still. So we are here with Andrea, who is one of our practitioners. And we are really happy to share with you these practices, because we really want to go on in this field, and maybe with other projects and other events all around Europe.
Grazie mille, Andrea Maccarone. We cannot see you, Andrea. We hope we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
I don't know why the camera is not working. I was trying to fix it, but I'm sorry. I'm Andrea Maccarone. I'm educator and communicator above all on the field of LGBT and human rights. I work now with SCOSE and Save the Children in project in schools with pupils aging 10, 18 usually. I cooperated also with Outsport project before caring about communication. In this project, I will present some practice, some exercises I developed in my education experience in years, and I will try to share it and to learn new practices as well.
Grazie mille. Giovanni. We don't have Giovanni. Emiliano. Unfortunately, we cannot.
Hello.
Hello, Emiliano. We cannot see you, but
everyone.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I know. I have. I'm sorry. I have connection issues here right now because my house is At the same time, we are in smart working, and at the same time, we have a call center and also teaching lessons. So my
Wow.
connection is quite bad. I have some issues, but something I got. I'm an event planner for global institution which teaches English and to speakers of other languages in my private life. I'm here today as the president, temporary president of my association, which is Lupi Roma Outsport, which is inspired by the project that Rosario talked about some minutes ago. We are going to present an activity that we will do next Saturday, not this one, but the next week one, with children between 11 and 18 years old. I think I will talk about it later, maybe. Are very excited to be part of this project.
Thank you very much, Emiliano. Giovanni, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I have to be outside today. I'm really sorry, but I have to leave. I cannot stay at home, so I will try to follow the meeting by my phone and very fastly. I am just a teacher, a school teacher, a primary school teacher. I also teach football in a little parents association in poor neighborhood of Rome called Piazza Vittorio, near the station, at the rail station. And inside this association of parents, we decided 10 years ago to start to use football to include people coming from other countries, but also girls that, you know, in Italy, most 10 years ago than now, didn't play as well as the guys, you know. So we are working on that, and here more to learn, but to speak, and I'm very interested about all the people that are here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. I think we have time in the back, maybe for the Italian team to also decide who will present the practice, because we agreed that there will be one presentation. So I don't think we will have time for more than one presentation today. So the idea was to have each country one presentation.
Yes, Laszlo, I told you about the presentation of today. It's going to be Andrea Macarrone.
Okay, good. Perfect, because I just heard that some other I heard now in the introduction that there was an intention to present more practices, but then it was my misunderstanding. Thank you very much. So it's clear now. Yes, and Andrea?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just almost cannot hear everything, anything. What did you say? Sorry.
No, it's clear. It's clear if Andrea is going to present the Italian project, the Italian practice. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
It was my misunderstanding. Sorry. So before we go to the 4 presentations, we thought that it would be very important to take a very little look at what in this project we consider education for, by, and through sport. Because this is an important approach that we understand, and this is also something that can prepare ourselves for the discussions and the sharing of experience in the international meeting in Berlin, Blossing, ideally. Of course, if we cannot have the physical meeting in Blossing, we may also have a series of further webinars to cover the sharing, but ideally it would be very nice to meet and discuss certain things, because that would be really the essence of the outcome of this project, to also sit together and find out what is the quality behind all these projects and what are we looking for in education through sport. So let me just share with you my screen now. if I can do it, share screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing, Lilla. For some reason, you have to enable me to share my screen because you are the host of the...
Yeah, let me check. Allow record, make host. Okay.
Or make me a host.
Yeah. Can you share it now?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfecto.
Yuppie. Screen. Can you can you see my screen now?
Yes.
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 Okay. So this is the publication called Move and Learn. It's a manual for supporting teachers, PE teachers, and coaches in using sport as a tool for developing certain social competencies and democratic competencies and human rights competencies. And the very basic foundation of this publication is the concept or the approach of understanding what is education by, for, and through sport. This is coming from a Danish university researcher team from the Department of Sport in the Copenhagen University. This is nothing really new, but this is an important academic approach to understand what we are doing when we are working in this context of education through sport. And here you can see the division between education for sport, by sport, and through sport. This we also looked into when we met with the Hungarian practitioners. We had the chance to meet the team, which was a great occasion to learn about each other's project. But let me repeat it here again, that education for sport itself is the classical, historically well-known approach to use sport as improving performance, improving skills, improving the success in the sport, to make the participants of the sport more skilled, more cooperative, for the sake of winning or for the sake of achieving more in terms of performance, physical ability, and technical aspect. The second level of learning through sport is education by sport, which in many cases coaches and PE teachers discover themselves by understanding what sport can do for young people and what sport can do for the participants in relation to improving health, in relation to team building and the different skills related to team cooperation, the different social skills related to how to win, how to lose, how to support each other, empathy, cooperation within a team, fighting for similar objectives and aims. This is what sport is offering automatically to the people, and of course it can be also improved and let's say highlighted through different activities. It doesn't necessarily involve a very conscious approach from the pedagogical point of view, because sport activities, the game of sport, the collectivity of sport, the spirit of sport can or is able to provide it itself with a little bit of, let's say, facilitation support. On the other hand, education through sport, what we are looking for, and we are trying to reach through the project, is using sport as an explicit tool to educate people on certain social skills in order to establish and implement real transfer of experience and transfer of skill development. So putting it into the real life context. So if a young person participates in an education, somebody should unmute the microphone because the voice is coming in. Can you unmute your mic if you are not talking? Sorry. Thank you. So it is important to create a learning curve which can be then transferred by the participants into the real life. So the development of democratic skills, the understanding of the social context, empathy, mutual respect, providing mutual respect, inclusion of people, non-discrimination, understanding the personal position and role in society, and supporting other people in finding their own position. So all these competencies, we can call it socio-cultural or citizenship education or social skills development or human rights education, but these are all skills that can be developed through sport activities. In our project, the Sport.Youth.Inclusion, of course, we are looking for practices and ideas that somehow increase the potential of inclusion in the society. So using sport to help people, young people, learners, young athletes, to improve their social skills in inclusion and non-discrimination and involving other people into the team spirit, into sport, etc. In our project, we are meeting education by sport and education through sport project practices. Both are very valuable, and we would like to start collecting these practices on the through Sport.EU portal, which is one of the developments of this project. I will come back to it at the end of our webinar, but ideally we would like to have a short description of all the practices that we have been talking about in the context of this project on the website, ideally in order for languages. So we would like to make this website a kind of focal point for education through sport in the coming decades. We also hope that this website will remain a tool after the project, also for other projects that are focusing on education through sport. So this is why we developed the project in a way that it is not only and specifically serving this project that we are working in now, but we'll be able to host other projects in the near future. I thought it's important to put this little map of, or let's say cognitive map in front of us before we start sharing the practices, but I would like to ask if you have any comments, additional points to make, or a question regarding this concept that I presented, education by, for, by, and through sport. And I stop sharing the... Any remarks regarding this short input on the approach that we are trying to follow? Joanna is smiling because she has been using this approach in the last 10 years already. If there is no question, I assume that you followed the short input, and I also assume that you understand and agree with the approach. On the other hand, our webinar is focusing on real practices, not only on concepts and theory. So I'm turning to Harald if you are ready to start.
I'm ready.
With the practice that you would like to share. Yeah. If yes, then I would happily give you the floor.
So I should share my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
There is a green button at the bottom of the application.
I pushed it. Let's see. But it's deactivated.
Because I
tried it.
Because I put Laszlo as a host.
Yeah. So put me as a host.
Yes, I will put you as a host. Yes.
No, now it's you. Now it's me.
Yes.
So
you should allow to share.
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope it works. You should see now the full screen.
Yes, we see that.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. So I will show you a very short presentation because you remember I was a sprinter, so it should be very short. And I hope you understand what I want to explain you. It's our campaign is Kinder stark machen. I translated it to the English, it's make children strong. And I switch to the next. So I just introduced me, and I'm Harold again. I'm still working for the Federal Center for Health Education in Germany. It's a governmental institution, and we try to work with sport organizations, and I will explain you a little bit later on that. And I just learned from the presentation of Laszlo that I mistake. I will explain it on the next folder. We are heading or aiming at children at the age to 12 years. So that will be done as I follow this chart we saw. It should be educate children through sport. That's what we want to do. And how do we do it? We don't do it directly with trainers, as you might call it. And we teach the coaches how to develop life skills for young athletes. And I call it young athletes. I mean children, 12, something like that. We would like to reach a positive self-image at these children and the ability of dealing with others. And this will enable the children for an addiction-free life. That's all what we want to do. We empower these coaches and we teach them, and we do this for now a long time, 25 years, and have a national system running. And for example, we educated more than 40,000 coaches. Yes. Okay. We do this together with national sport organizations, especially and sport youth organizations. For example, you will go to Blossin, and that's the Brandenburgische Sport.Jugend. It's the youth organization. Andra, is it right? Yes, she's laughing. Okay, have the next one. We always start and do the first steps in this program by playing games. And I brought one of the games for you, and it's called Awake the Sleeping Lion. To be honest, one of my favorite games, because I got a sports colleague, a runner from Kenya, and when he was young, he's a little bit old now, about 70, but he told me when he was young, they played it real. Trying to awake the sleeping lion. I don't know if the story is true, but for me it sounds very, very good. We do kind of these games with the children, but we look behind the game. What could we see in the game, and what could this game give to children if we play it with them, and if the coaches do it? And so I have the next chart, and that will guide you to our thinking and to our acting. And this is the main issue if you look on this point, educating through sport, and how we would like to, let's say, empower children. Yes, next chart is not switching. Now, yeah, look at the lion in blue. During the game, children develop creativity to approach the sleeping lion. That's the whole game. But look to the I think you call it belts. Yeah, for the weightlifting. Training of important skills starts here in a game. Finding ways out of a difficult life situation needs creativity. And then we have the solution. Solving problems means not getting into the need to escape in addicted behaviors. So that's all. It's the example of this game. If we help children to develop creativity, finally we'll give them an important skill for their life when they need to solve problems. And they should be able to solve these problems much easier if they are trained in this kind of games before. And it is a kind of protection not to escape in addicted behaviors. For example, drinking alcohol or doing something else like that. Yeah, that's all. And I would be very happy to show you more of these games and the whole program when we meet in Plossi. I don't know if it was 10 minutes, but it is over. Yeah, you see, we work a little bit with symbols, which are the language of children. Maybe it's our language also. So remember, make children strong, and I'm looking forward to meet you all. And I hope very curious now about the other projects.
Thank you very much, Harald. I don't know, thank you for respecting the time so well. It's excellent. And I think it was also a very clear and very to the point presentation of what you are aiming to do. Is there any question from any of the participants who were listening to Harald regarding the practice? I cannot see everybody.
I have one question.
Szabolcs, please.
Harald, thank you for your presentation. When you do this exercise with the sleeping lion, how do you instruct the lion before the game?
I didn't understand that. No?
How do you instruct the lion? How
yes.
to behave?
It's a game now. It's like in real life. Lion is asleep, And if he hears a noise, he starts to wake up and tries to catch children. So if they are able to approach the lion as quiet as possible and tip their finger on the lion, then they win the game. But if the lion awakes before and catches the children, they become also lions.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, you may play this game now in the next workout or practice.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very funny. I like it.
Now the actual instruction is clear also.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Maybe it was too short.
Yeah. Clear. Thank you very much. Any other question? It was also a very good teaser to actually be interested in the whole concept now.
Yeah.
So those who will be able to make it to Blossin, if we can make it all at all, then it will be very interesting to listen to more of the presentation of the whole concept or the whole approach. Thank you very much. Who could be the second presentation? Szabolcs, are you ready?
Yes, if you want, I can start it.
Thank you.
Harald, can you please stop sharing your screen?
I tried. I do now stop it.
Okay. Yes, right now.
Fine.
Then please make me host.
Yes, that's what I want.
So many hosts of one activity.
Yeah.
We are all hosts of this meeting.
Okay. Okay, now you are the host, Szabolcs.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Okay. I hope you can see my presentation now. Yes? Can you see it?
Perfect.
And you can hear me also.
Yes, we can hear and we can see.
Okay, thank you. I would like to show you a short presentation about this behavior model sports application, and after my presentation I will show you a 2-minute video. And please watch the presentation because there will be a little play during the video. As I mentioned you, I work as a trainer, and together with my Australian partners, we are managing a program which aims in sports to develop the self-knowledge of coaches and athletes. There was a study after the 2008 Olympic Games by the Canadian Olympic Committee. And this study found that the leading factors of the top Olympic performances were the strong coach-athlete relationship and the athlete self-awareness. So it's very important if we know ourselves and others, and we can make best of this relationship, and then we can reach the high performance. But of course, this methodology can be used in amateur sports and in physical education also, and not just the professional field. We are all different, and that's beautiful. We have different behavioral traits. Sometimes we see each other as UFOs, but we have to know each other, we have to know ourselves, and then we can make together better things, even in sport teams. The basic styles. This model is made up with 4 styles, and you can see some famous people representing the different styles. And there's also colors next to the styles. The first is the gladiator Russell Crowe is the dominant style, the red one. Then we have Robin Williams from Good Morning Vietnam, where he was a radio DJ and the Dead Poets Society. He was a very inspiring English teacher. This style is called inspiration, and it is yellow. And we have Mother Teresa, who help others, the people who in need, who are poor. So she's really concentrating on helping other people. This style is called the steady style or the supportive style. And we have Detective Columbo, who is always focusing on details. He's very conscious and very analyzer type of person. The color is the blue. Okay, and I have some examples from sports. Katinka also, our Olympic champion swimmer. She's a very good representation of the dominant style. She's very results oriented, and sometimes she's in fight with the half of the world. Even in the International Swimming Association, she had some big fights. And we have Andre Agassi, who is the inspiring, influential type of person, and supportive. He's a real team player. When they won the World Cup, he didn't want to celebrate, didn't want to touch the World Cup, and his teammates passed to him and told him, "You are also world champion, please celebrate." And Steffi Graf, she's the Grand Slam champion with her precise, systematic, well-organized style. She was really successful. This is the conscious style. And here you see the model, which is invented by William Marston, an American psychologist. And he was the one who added two more dimensions to Jung's typology of intro and extroverted persons. The extroverted persons actually the ones in the right side, dominance and the influence, and the introvert person is the conscience and the steadiness. And Marston find out that there are people also who are more task-oriented. These are the dominance and the conscientious styles, and people who are more people-oriented. And all of us has all these four styles, but in different level. And this level of these styles determines our behavior in real life and in sports activity, or if you act as a coach also. Athlete assessments, as I mentioned you, they are the owner of this methodology. Already 41 sports, they are implementing this methodology. They were participating in 9 Olympic campaigns, and we also started this work in Hungary. I was the one who adapted this into Hungarian language. So at the moment, besides English, it's Hungarian, and in Japanese language, this profiles are available. So we have a profile report for athletes, and we have a profile report for coaches. But this is just the beginning to have a clear idea about the people we're profiling. And then we try to help them how to use this information, how to be more flexible in their role, even as a coach or as an athlete. And some interesting things, how the different parts of the verse, they represent the different styles. You can see the Turkish and maybe the Korean, they have more dominant person. Yes, in the USA, they are more white type of person and so on. In Hungary, actually, we are green, so we are a supportive type of nation more. Okay, so the main reason of this whole model, this whole methodology is to learn more about ourselves, so develop our self-knowledge. In this case, we will have more conscious in different situations in our life, in sports. And then according to this, we can change our natural behavior and we can adapt to the other person's behavior. And then we can really strengthen our relationship or making better the communication between us, and then it will result. At the end, we will have better results, even in not just sporting results or medals, which matters, also the way, if we can, for example, if you are a physical education teacher, you can find the inner motivation of your pupil, which is very important to engage them in sports. So the rule, which is very important in this program, is treat other people the way they want to be treated. So we know each other. We will observe other people behavior, and then we will have the chance to adapt our behavior according to his or her needs. And I was thinking about when Laszlo is presenting this 4 by and through definition, and I think this model is definitely for sports, because we would like to teach the main actors in sports to be better in communication and self-knowledge. I think by is not yet, but I will try this lion game for sure in my next training. I will ask Harald maybe some more instruction, and I think true sports is also important, because you will see soon a video which you can see different basketball players showing their styles, and I think in sports you can see the people's real behavior, because we are in stress in sports situation. And then if you talk about this behavior and the effect of the behavior, then they can be more conscious and they can use this knowledge in their real lives also, not just in sports. Okay, so that was the presentation. And then I'm going to start now this video, and please watch it. And the question will be, which styles are displayed in the different basketball courts? So please watch carefully, and then at the end, guess which styles were displayed. Okay, so I'm trying to share again.
Yes, I go back and swim back when you already in the swim thing. Yes, sir.
Biggs, run wide. Y'all run the ceiling in the paint. Run wide and get out. JJ, catch JJ. Double T. JR, go. Bump down, JR. Go. Bump down. We take that. We live in. You want to drive right. And then come back left at the end. Under. Double T. Bang, bang. You got a body first, at the point of the screen open. Go, keep shooting, boy. Hey, I got your back.
She's sneaky, though. She's got a great sense of humor. Yes. She just is very serious looking. Wow, that's nice. This consistency this season for the Seattle Storm. We took her second-round pick from Atlanta a few years ago.
Go. Stay. Now go.
Sue Bird talking.
A little bit better job of fighting through. I don't know what that one is. That looks like... Break that down. Finishing strong at the rim and putting the icing on the cake for this monster the Hawk team who is going to end up 2-1 in this tournament. Gerald Davis is in retreat mode. You can't do that because the defense is already loaded up, and you have to pick up a guy like Justin Robinson with a beautiful split. The drive, the dish, and the dunk. He's keeping basketballs alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who has a guess?
James was very dominant.
Yes. Yes, he was very dominant. That's clear. And the Duke University, what do you think? First one?
Supportive as a team.
Yes, you are right. They're clapping, helping each other up off the floor, high fives, and cleaning the floor together. That was
They're
strong.
very cooperative.
Yeah, they were cooperative. You are right. And Sue Bird, it's not so easy. The third one, the Seattle's point guard.
Smart and conscious.
Yes, yes. I think she was a C, the conscious, and a little bit dominant also. And the Angry Birds, they were the inspirational, the funny guys.
Yeah.
So they are they have very good mood in the team. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Szabolcs, as well as Harald. Is there any question to Szabolcs regarding this approach of helping the personal development of athletes and coaches through this typology of DISC, which, as Szabolcs mentioned, it's, of course, the whole idea is for sport, but the methodology itself inside can be very well education through sport, depending on how the education process is built. Because many of these skills and competencies that you develop can be transferred to real life as well. So it's not only to sport, but it's also to support the social skills of these people outside of sport.
And we agreed last time that I would develop this part of my program a little bit.
Yes.
To make it more funny for the participants.
For pedagogically
yes.
Participative. Yes. Any questions or comments? I hope you enjoyed both of the presentations. I saw faces, and everybody was stick to the monitor, so apparently it was interesting. Hello, Andrea. In the meantime, we can see you. Hello. Nice to see you. I'm checking also with you, Andrea, if you are ready to be the next one. You have to unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone. We cannot hear you, Andrea.
Andrea, so I will make...
Here, I don't need to be host because I have not a video presentation. I will just talk, okay?
Okay.
Okay, talk, Andrea. You have 10 minutes.
Perfect. My game is called Mixer or Daisy Flower. It depends on the shape we'll make and the space we have. It's a game I used many times in years with students mostly, and it can be done in a classroom or in a courtyard, in an open space, whatever. Typically for a group between 10 and 20, 25 people. The preparation is making identity cards. It's the goal of the game is to develop competencies and attention to discriminations and diversities. It can be done on many fields, for example, discrimination on gender and gender identity or sexual orientation, disability, age, whatever. Before the game, you have to prepare these identity cards in the number of the participants and in each card is written some short profile. For example, girl, 25 years old, lesbian, or guy, 30 years old, bisexual, trans woman, 40 years old, and so on. But it can be, you can add religion, you can add, for example, revenues, you can add many things, ability, disability. It depends on what you want to investigate and you want to work on. And at the beginning of the game, you casually give this identity card to participants, or they pick casually one, and they don't have to share it with anybody. It's just for them. And you put them on a line or on a cycle shape. So if it's the line at the end, we have some mixer shape. If it's a cycle at the end, we have a flower shape. When we start a game, people have to act as they are the person in the identity card they picked up. They choose. They don't have to share this identity with anybody, but they have to impersonate them. And then we start, and we'll just say some indications. For example, you can marry whoever you want. You can kiss in the street the people you love. You can run. You can choose the work you like. You can have children. You can share your feelings with your friends, and so on. So each people, they have to act according on the identity card, on how they feel about that situation. If they feel it's okay, they just make a step forward. If they feel they cannot do that because they don't feel safe, they feel this is not admitted, permitted to them, they will stuck in the line. So at the end of the story, we have some people who made all the way through the center of the circle, or the end of on the other opposite floor, or the opposite wall of the room, and people who just didn't move a step forward. And then we stop, and guys and girls and participants would look where they are in the room, in the space. It's a physical distance they made between each other, and they discuss about it. So there is a debriefing on the end, discussing why they felt they could walk forward. They didn't feel like walking, and they stayed still. And if somebody with the same identity can act differently, for example, it's according on their culture, their feeling, on the country. In Italy now we have civil union, maybe in Russia no. So if participants are from different countries or cultures or family or religion, can act differently on same situation, on same identity also. And from this discussion also, it's not also reflecting on differences, it's also feeling differences. We impersonate somebody who maybe were not yourself, so you can imagine and impersonate someone else. There is a very strong emotional impact usually in this game. People really can see how distance in society are made for reasons that not belong to them, to their shoes. I mean, they are women or men, gay or bisexual or straight, rich or poor, Christian, agnostic, or Muslim. It's something they don't choose usually, they just have in their life. And according to these differences, they have more or less possibilities. And this is not just a discussion, it's something they see in the space of the room. Some people are in the back side of the room, and some people are in front and they made a lot of street for no reason, just the lack of the first choose or the first picking identity. And that's it.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much for presenting this exercise. Do you have any questions or comments regarding this very specific activity, which can also be, I think, easily adapted to a sport situation, also to a sport context? It can also be adapted to a sport activity itself, to any collective sport. I can imagine that the role cards are given to the players, and the players are asked to stop in case the statement is not valid for them, or something like that. So it easily can become an education through sport exercise. It is a very very clear human rights education activity as well.
I want to add something. It's something physical, even if it's not sporty itself. As you said, it can be adapted, and it can be made even in a not very large space, and it's physical. Even if not sporty, they move in the space, and not being that sporty can be very inclusive also, because of course it can be adapted to different situations, space, and personal conditions, while not always, of course, all sport conditions are so that inclusive themselves, that they should be adapted sometimes.
You are right that we should also consider education through sport not only for those who are very sporty or very physical, but also having some offers and opportunities for those who are less or who are limited in terms of sport, for example, with physical limitations or other issues of sport. Any questions, any comments from the others? If not, thank you very much, Andrea, as well, for a nice sharing of a very specific exercise. I'm turning to Joanna and Suleiman, if I remember.
Sunny, it's easier, sunny, like the sun.
Sunny, like the sun.
Sunny.
The floor is yours, Joanna.
You. Facility. Okay, it will be me. I basically know the practice because I'm volunteer myself in this, in my free time, that it's more now. So I will be brief. Do you see my screen? Okay, so the inclusive basketball concept has been realized already for several years, and it's an interesting practice that we're doing with people with mental disabilities. In the team right now, we have more than 30 players this year. We started the season 2 weeks ago. And the concept is that it's an inclusive, unified team. So we have also partners that are without disabilities, and they're playing together. And we are doing basketball training as it is, but we are also using a lot of ETS elements depending on the specific knowledge that we want to transmit. It's based on volunteering coaches and volunteering persons that are doing everything, and free participation for everyone from the team. There is some pictures from the activities that we had this year together with the team, and we're doing the sessions every week in Monday. And the results that are achieved until the moment is firstly great environment where everyone is feeling accepted, and everyone is feeling that it's in its place and everyone is there to support him. The reduction of aggression level that was in some of the people with intellectual disabilities before joining the team, it's very visible. And the increasement of physical level or their activity level, it's also very important, because due to their conditions that are very different, but they need to move and they're not finding the proper place to move. One of the girls that is part of the team is also volunteer in the event that we are delivering now, and I was speaking with her about the session this Monday, today, and we was working about it's happening very lot with the people with intellectual disabilities that they want to prove themselves, but they want to prove themselves that much that they are even harming themselves sometimes because they don't know the limit. And we have this challenge with her, and she realized after the activities in Monday that this is not good for her, but this is the process of exactly education through sport and the learning that is happening after a lot of sessions. So it's providing amazing results, and it's really, really important with this specific target group, yes, to be active, yes, to be involved in sport, but also to work on the social aspect, on being accepted, on being part of the team, on working on the individual challenges that each one of them face through the sport sessions. And that's why we try to be at least 5-6 people there to support this learning process and to be sure that, yes, they are moving, but also they are learning. And also the partners that are included, that are youngsters without disabilities, are also learning, also including these people in their friendship environment or in their social environment. So it's a multi-beneficiary practice that it's amazing in my experience from what I feel when I get out of the practice. Questions?
Thank you very much, Joanna, for the very personal and very inspirational sharing of this experience of yours as well. Any questions or comments to Joanna?
Sunny is one of the coaches from Adapted Physical Activity and Sports program that we have in the university that is involved in coaching the team. And we also have the partners that are different youngsters, even students from other degrees. Open for questions.
Anybody who has a question on this concrete practice? No. If there is no question, thank you very much for volunteering to volunteer to share your practice. We had the chance now to listen to, or just to peek a little bit inside 4 different approaches that are all in the context of education for, by, and through sport in different ways, in different levels. There are in each country, in each of the 4 participating countries, there are 6 practitioners who are involved in this project. And now, so it's 4 times 6 practitioners. That's a lot of practice. Of course, we couldn't have time to share all of it, but at least we had 4 very different, but also very, it showed very visible the potentials of sport and physical activities in teaching, in developing personalities, in developing skills, improving social competencies. After listening to these 4 presentations, how do you see the role of sport in this context? What comes down to you when we are watching these 4 examples? Or putting it away, what did you learn? What did it give you now, these 4 concrete approaches? Or what was interesting?
I will just comment it. It was really inspirational. And I think sport is a language even that everyone can speak. It's not just a tool. And we can reach the goals if we set the goals before that. And here was really clear that we have a methodology and we want to reach something, and sport is helping a lot. And at the end, we really are celebrating then this result. And I hope to get to know more methodology and place and programs from you guys in Blosim. And just, yeah, let's speak the language sport.
I also fully agree that the enthusiasm of physical activity is uncomparable to other training contexts. I'm also a trainer of human rights education and democracy, and making an activity in a room with the people sitting on chairs and making an activity in a sports hall with a lot of physical exercise is very different in terms of personal engagement and personal enthusiasm. It has a very great added value what sport can give into these learning contexts. Any other conclusions or feelings after these 4 practices?
Probably I wanted to say that listening to this presentation is very interesting, but as every sport activity would be much better to actually participate and see them on practice on the ground. So I'm very looking forward to learn more, to see more, because short description give us just an idea on what can be, and really acting them, seeing them on action probably is much more impact also, to understand how they really work.
Yes, Andrea, you are absolutely right. We didn't think that this online webinar will replace the physical meeting of practitioners. We really cross our fingers to make it happen, because that would be the essence of the whole project, to make the practitioners meet and also draw some conclusions regarding how to promote education through sport and how to bring it forward to more coaches and PE teachers. And we come to the point now that I would like to share with you what we imagined for the program of the physical meeting in Blosim. So if you allow me, I will share my screen and share with you the one second. I have to find. In the meantime, can I give the floor to Lila or Andra to share with you the state of the play regarding when and how we imagine the meeting and how we will proceed with the preparations? Andra and Lila, are you here?
Yes, so okay, then maybe I will give you some bullet points when we want to carry out our meeting. It's from the 4th till the 7th of December in this year. Let's like cross fingers, let's hope it will work for us. Where? It's in a youth educational center, Blosim. It's a huge center with a lot of opportunities to do sport, with the educational rooms, and it's really a perfect place to carry out such a project, and especially for young people, for youngsters. Of course, also for elderly like us, but the target group actually are like young people there. Then we will arrive on Friday. It's 4th of December, that's arriving day, and let's hope that you can fly, or maybe also travel by car. Let's see what will work for us. And Laszlo, then I will just say, or you will share the screen with the times when like with the time frames.
I can also share it, or you can share it if you have it right. I have it right in front of me if you want me to share.
No, then share you can share it.
Okay, then I share it quickly. If I can share, Lilla. No, it doesn't. Can you make me a host, Lilla? Lilla, can you make me a host? I would like to share my screen, Lilla. Can you make me a host? I think you hear me.
I tried, but it doesn't work now. I don't know if Joanna can.
Okay, then Andra, can you share the program? I can also explain if you share.
Okay, I will just then briefly give you some points, and of course you will get emails, many emails from us with the time schedule and reminders, but like we planned that you will arrive till 4 p.m., 16 o'clock, and then we will welcome you in the Youth Educational Center Blasin, and we will get to know each other and have the whole introduction procedure. And at evening at 7 p.m. we will have the dinner. This is the first day. The second day we get up, have breakfast, and then then comes the introduction of the whole program, and also expectations, and you all will be involved. So active participation is asked from your side. Then we have 4 teams from Bulgaria, Germany, Italy, and Hungary, and then the practitioners will present their methodology, their games, their practices. So we will team 1, and we will in the first part of the day, then we will have lunch, then the second team, then we will have a break, of course, be productive, and the third team, and at the end of the day we will have reflection or evaluation. Last but not least, of course, we will also have dinner at the end. Then we have the third day, 6th of December. Then we still have 1 team who will then present the practices, and we will have a break, and then already comes the essence of the practices or conclusions, and also we will reflect it and plan how to use this knowledge and best practices in the future, and how we will learn from each other. And then comes the follow-up ideas for this project and following up projects. Yes, I think I managed to fastly present the whole schedule.
Thank you very much, Andra. The idea is that each country will have 3 practitioners present in the Toolfair, and each team of these 3 practitioners will have 1.5 to 2 hours to present. So of course, before the arrival, it will be asked that each team decides how this time will be shared among the 3 people. Of course, ideally, we can also do some activities. So those who are ready to make us stand up from the working room and go out to the basketball field or to any of the outdoor possibilities to actually experience the activities, then of course it will be great that we could test it, not only understanding but feeling and doing it. So it really become a Toolfair of having this experience of learning. And of course, we want to have some conclusions on how to go on, how to use all this gathered knowledge and practices in the future. And we would like to also dedicate some time to plan maybe a new project, or after learning this and using this opportunity of meeting these people to plan ahead and try with a new project, building on the results of this activity. So if you have any questions regarding the program of BLOSSIM, I think some of you will most probably be there. I know that Szabolcs will hopefully be there with us. Peter may not be with us, as far as I understood. But yes, we will. In the Hungarian team, we asked our practitioners who are ready to travel and also who are available on those days. And we will be a full team of 4 people, actually 5, because Lila is also joining us as the project coordinator. So we either fly or take a car or something like that. Most probably flying will be easier. Maybe I'm turning to Andra. For Andra, it's if you have any information to be shared about the German team, if you already know who will be the participants from the German side. Hopefully Harald we will be able to meet there.
Yes, of course, Harald is one of our selected practitioners. Then Evelina. Evelina is a principal of sport-oriented kindergarten. And maybe Anila or other colleague of hers will come with her and show also the methodology which they apply in the daily work with kids. And the third is it's a tandem or enterprise who they produce tools or plays for kindergartens. It's active Baustelle. It's like active traffic. Yeah, I even can't translate it correctly, but they will show us what kind of tools you can use for education through sport. So a little bit different perspective. So that's these are our practitioners.
Thank you very much, Andra. Joanna, do you have any information about the construction of your team yet?
Yes, we have. We didn't select the last practitioner. We have Sunny. We have one of the coaches that is working with kids with disabilities in swimming. And I have doubts about the last one because we have one other girl that I know working also with kids with disabilities. We have a state champion in pool tourism that is also working with kids with disabilities, and we have one athletic coach. The problem with the last one is the language, so I know English. So yeah, until December, my only concern about the project is would we be able to travel or we won't be able to travel. I don't have any others.
Yeah,
either me.
It's the question for all of us. It's the question for all of us.
We was discussing now that maybe we will go by car, even though it's quite far from Bulgaria, but maybe with one overnight somewhere. But yeah, the problem is to be allowed to go.
Yeah. Claro. Rosario or Andrea? Andrea, we lost, yes. I think. No, Andrea is here. Oh, yes, you are there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm back. Now I can even hear all of you in the past 20 minutes. I'm sorry I missed one of the presentations, but I hope we will have the chance to catch up. Yeah, so we're trying to build a team that can be as varied as possible. So in order also to give a different nuance to in comparison with the rest of the teams, in order to make it more as varied as possible. Of course, besides the what Joanna was sorry what Joanna was saying earlier. Apart from that, apart from the the question that is the big question for all of us, we will also need to see who can join. Actually, as many of our practitioners are teachers, so we're still working on it, and but still our main focus is to present an array of activities that are as varied as possible, in order not to focus only on one sport or only on one methodology. As Andra was earlier saying, it's a tool, and it's good to see how creativity was arising through these presentations, and it was also nice to see that eventually, for example, for the presentation from Harald, for example, or also the presentation from Andrea, there is basically no need to have like an exact sports field or exact precise sport instruments and structures. So we are trying to bring that kind of vibe in, and hopefully our teachers will also have the chance to be there during those days.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and thank you very much for all, especially a big thanks to those three people who volunteered to kick off the sharing process and be brave enough to present their practices. A very big thanks to you, Harald and Szabolcs and Andrea and Joanna. Hoping to meet you all in physical in Germany, also having in mind plan B. If we cannot do it, then of course we can try to replace, not fully, but at least partly, the experience with a series of online webinars like today, meeting some other practitioners and having some discussions. Of course, it is not as efficient as meeting for 3 days in real. We will keep you updated on the monitoring of the situation and trying to make the best out of this project. I would like to remind you lastly to the website, to the portal. I will also send you a reminder, but it would be nice to have a short article from every practitioner in English, ideally, and that can be translated into the other 3 languages, so that we have already a list of interesting practices enriching the website that we are also promoting on Facebook and promoting to a wider public in sport and in youth, children, youth and sport policy, as well as in education, because physical PE teachers are an important target for our project. Thank you very much for your presence and participation. I think it's time that we closed in time the meeting. It was great meeting you, and I wish you a lovely evening, a COVID-free weekend soon. And thank you for your patience and cooperation for making this webinar happen today.
Hey, thank you and goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.